You were taught that confidence comes from self-belief. That was a mistake. The secret psychology behind true dominance has nothing to do with motivation, affirmations, or hype. And once this great illusion is exposed, you either evolve or remain invisible. Here is the hidden truth about confidence. Confidence is not an emotion. It is not a personality trait. It is not charisma. Confidence is perception management, and most people never learn this. They chase confidence the wrong way. They try to feel confident first. They try to act confident. They try to look confident. But confidence does not start inside you. It starts inside other people's minds. This is the great psychological secret, and once it is exposed, your behavior changes forever. Confidence is borrowed, not owned. People don't decide who is confident, they sense it. And they sense it based on signals, not words. Ancient philosophers understood this. One taught that power belongs to those who control appearances. Another warned that what you repress will secretly rule you. Another believed emotional mastery was the highest form of strength. Another said self-overcoming is the only real confidence. Different voices, same truth. Confidence is discipline, not emotion. Ask yourself this: why do some people walk into a room and instantly command attention without raising their voice, without trying to impress, without proving anything? And why do others, no matter how talented, fade into the background? The answer is uncomfortable. Because confidence is built by what you are willing to control and what you are brave enough to withhold. Needing approval kills confidence instantly. The moment you want to be liked, you give up power. This is why desperate people overshare. This is why insecure people over-explain. This is why nervous people fill silence. Silence terrifies the unconfident, but silence is a weapon. Silence signals self-sufficiency. When you don't rush to speak, people assume you are deciding, not hesitating. When you pause, others lean in. When you speak less, your words weigh more. This isn't confidence, this is perceived control, and perception is everything. Imagine a meeting. One person talks constantly, explains everything, defends every idea. Another speaks once, slowly, calmly, and then stops. Who seems more confident? Not the loud one, the controlled one. Because control implies inner stability, and inner stability is what people respect. Confidence is not assertiveness. Assertiveness is reactive. Confidence is unmoved. The confident person doesn't argue to win. They don't rush to prove intelligence. They don't compete for attention. They let others reveal themselves first. Emotional control is dominance. The person least affected emotionally controls the interaction. Anger exposes weakness. Defensiveness exposes fear. Overexcitement exposes dependency. Calm is terrifying. Calm tells others, I don't need this to go my way. And that is power. Notice the group dynamics. There's always one person trying too hard, joking excessively, talking non-stop. And one person who listens, smiles occasionally, reacts slowly. Who do people follow? Who do people respect? Not the entertainer, the observer. Here is where psychology becomes dangerous. Most people suppress fear. They suppress insecurity. They suppress doubt. That suppression leaks. In body language, in tone, in tension. True confidence comes from integration, not denial. You acknowledge your fear, you accept it, and you act anyway. That creates grounded presence. Comfort with discomfort creates authority. The person who can sit in discomfort without reacting, without escaping, without explaining, appears unshakable. And unshakable people dominate rooms effortlessly. In relationships, insecurity talks. It asks questions, seeks reassurance, demands validation.
Confidence observes. It allows space. It allows silence. It allows uncertainty. Ironically, the less you cling to, the more you become attractive, because confidence is freedom from fear of loss. Confidence comes from detachment. Detachment is not coldness. It is self-respect. You care, but not desperately. You engage, but not chase. You express, but not beg. This balance is rare. That's why it's powerful. The less you need, the more you command. Neediness creates noise. Confidence creates stillness, and stillness draws attention. Family dynamics reveal everything. Who interrupts whom? Who explains themselves? Who stays calm during conflict? The confident one doesn't escalate. They don't shout. They don't defend their identity. They respond minimally. And minimal response frustrates manipulators, because manipulation feeds on reaction. Why confident people rise? Society rewards certainty, not arrogance, not aggression, certainty. People trust those who appear settled within themselves, even if they say little, even if they reveal nothing. He who has conquered himself is the mightiest warrior. That is confidence. Not conquering others, conquering impulses, conquering fear, conquering the need to impress. Confidence is a discipline. You don't wake up confident. You practice it. You practice silence. You practice restraint. You practice emotional control. You choose response over reaction. Over time, confidence becomes your default. Subscribe if you're ready to master yourself before trying to dominate the world. Because the most confident person in any room never asks for attention. They command it. Silence is not absence. Silence is pressure. Here is the great secret that was never meant to be exposed. The moment you stop filling space, other people start revealing themselves. That is where control begins. Ask yourself this carefully. Why do interrogators use silence? Why do powerful leaders pause before speaking? Why do confident people never rush to respond? Because silence forces projection, and projection exposes weakness. Humans cannot tolerate uncertainty. When there is silence, the mind panics, so it fills the gap with words, with excuses, with emotions, with truth. Silence does not hide information. It extracts it. Silence creates psychological debt. When you speak too much, you give relief. When you stay silent, the other person feels pressure. They feel the need to explain, justify, impress, confess. That need creates debt, and the person owed the debt holds power. The first person to break silence loses leverage. Watch negotiations, watch arguments, watch relationships. The one who speaks first after tension rises is the one who needs resolution more. Need is weakness. A meeting becomes tense. A disagreement surfaces. One person rushes to explain their position, clarifies intentions, defends tone. Another person says nothing. They lean back. They listen. They wait. Who looks confident? Not the explainer, the observer. Because observers control tempo. Tempo is power. Fast speech signals anxiety. Slow speech signals certainty. Quick reactions signal insecurity. Delayed responses signal control. Silence slows everything down, and the person who controls speed controls the interaction. The shadow side of silence. Silence is uncomfortable. That's why most people avoid it. They fear being misunderstood. They fear appearing weak. They fear losing connection. But this fear reveals dependency. Confidence does not chase clarity. Confidence allows ambiguity. Someone jokes at your expense. An insecure response laughs nervously or fires back immediately. A confident response, nothing. A pause, eye contact, a neutral expression. The discomfort shifts to them because now they must explain.
Emotional stillness triggers self-exposure. When you don't react emotionally, people escalate. They talk more, reveal motives, expose intentions. Silence is a mirror, and most people don't like what they see. Silence makes manipulators panic. Manipulation requires reaction. Guilt-tripping needs reassurance. Gaslighting needs defense. Provocation needs anger. Silence starves all of it. That's why manipulators hate calm people. An argument begins. One partner explains feelings endlessly, seeks validation, seeks reassurance. The other listens, responds briefly, does not overcorrect. Who feels grounded? Who feels desperate? Silence doesn't mean indifference. It means self-regulation. The calmest person controls the frame. Frames decide meaning. Who is confident? Who is emotional? Who is stable? The calm person defines reality. The reactive person plays inside it. High-status individuals speak less publicly. They don't narrate their lives. They don't explain their values. They don't argue online. They act. Silence signals that your life speaks for you. Being understood is not power. People obsess over being understood. That obsession weakens them. Powerful individuals allow misinterpretation. They know clarity can be negotiated later. Leverage cannot. Silence protects your inner world. The more you reveal, the more people can use against you. The less you reveal, the more people project strength onto you. Mystery amplifies confidence. Family pushes buttons. They expect reactions. They expect emotional patterns. When you change the pattern, by staying calm, by staying silent, the dynamic collapses. Because control was never loud, it was predictable. Unpredictability creates respect. When people can't predict your reactions, they become careful. Carefulness equals respect. The wise speak only when they must. Fools speak because they must. Confidence chooses words carefully. Silence is not passive. It is strategic restraint. It is emotional mastery. It is psychological leverage. It is quiet dominance. The most confident person in any room is not the one being heard. It is the one being felt. Body language that silently dominates any room. Before you speak, before you move, before you even introduce yourself, people decide your status. This is the great secret most never realize. Confidence is judged before words exist, and once this truth is exposed, you can never unsee it. Why do some people walk into a room and conversations slow down? Why do others enter and become invisible? Same room, same people, different signals. Confidence is not what you do, it is what your body permits. Your body leaks information constantly. Fear, certainty, need, control. You don't hide these signals, you broadcast them. The body speaks louder than intent. Your intentions are irrelevant. Your posture speaks first. Your pace speaks second. Your eyes speak last. And people believe the body, not the story you tell. Confidence is stillness, not motion. Nervous people move. They fidget. They adjust. They touch their face. They shift weight. Movement signals instability. Stillness signals command. The less unnecessary movement you make, the more grounded you appear. A leader stands during a presentation. One shifts constantly, moves hands excessively, paces. Another stands still, hands relaxed, movements deliberate. Who feels authoritative? Not the energetic one, the contained one. Because control always looks quiet. Slow movements signal certainty. Fast movements say, I'm reacting.
Slow movements say, "I'm deciding." Speed reveals urgency. Urgency reveals fear. The most dangerous signal of all. Eye contact is not staring. Eye contact is tolerance. The confident person does not rush to look away. They don't dominate with aggression. They don't avoid with fear. They hold eye contact calmly, then release it naturally. That balance unsettles people. Breaking eye contact first is submission. In tense moments, the first person to look away gives ground. Confident people don't challenge, they remain. Someone tests you verbally, a joke, a subtle insult. An insecure response laughs it off quickly. A confident response, eye contact, a pause, neutral expression, no rush. That pause shifts the power, because now they feel exposed. Pauses create authority. Silence after eye contact amplifies presence. It says, "I heard you. I'm not threatened. I don't need to rush." Most people cannot handle this, so they speak again and reveal more. Your posture tells people how much space you believe you deserve. Collapsed posture equals apology. Upright posture equals permission. But here is the secret. True confidence is not rigid. It is relaxed alignment. Tension is insecurity in disguise. Overly stiff posture signals forced dominance. Relaxed posture signals internal safety. Confidence does not brace, it settles. In disagreements, insecure partners lean forward aggressively or retreat defensively. Confident partners stay centered. No lunging, no shrinking. Centered posture calms the interaction, and calm controls emotion. The one who takes space owns the frame. Confident people take space naturally. They don't squeeze themselves smaller. They don't apologize with their body. They occupy space without invading others. That balance is rare and instantly noticeable. How you enter a room decides everything. Watch how confident people walk. Not rushed, not dragging. Even pace, head level, shoulders loose. They look like they are already where they belong. Rushing signals subordination. People who rush signal they're late to their own life. Confidence walks as if time adjusts to them. Watch public spaces. Who moves aside? Who maintains direction? High confident individuals do not aggressively push. They also do not immediately yield. They move with expectation, and expectation shapes reality. The detail most people miss. The hands reveal anxiety. Clenched fists, excessive gestures, hidden hands. Confident hands are visible, relaxed, purposeful. No performance. Open hands signal nothing to prove. When your hands are calm, people sense honesty. When your hands are frantic, people sense need. Confidence is not dominance. Dominance tries to overpower. Confidence does not need resistance. It exists quietly and lets others adjust. People mirror your state. Your calm slows rooms down. Your tension spreads anxiety. Your stillness stabilizes chaos. That is why leaders are trained to regulate their bodies first. Family conflicts escalate fast. Raised voices, interruptions, old patterns. One person stays physically calm, breathing steady, posture neutral, eyes grounded. The conflict loses fuel because emotion needs reaction to survive. He who cannot command himself will always be commanded by others. Your body is your first kingdom. Confidence is not loud. It is regulated nervous system. It is deliberate movement. It is controlled presence. Before you ever speak, your body has already negotiated
your status. Because the most confident person in the room doesn't demand attention. They shape the atmosphere. Most people think confidence is about what you say. That belief is wrong. The great secret, once exposed, is this: your voice reveals your rank before your words are processed. And once you understand this, you stop trying to sound confident. You become unavoidable. Why do some people speak once and silence follows? Why do others speak endlessly and nothing lands? Same language, same intelligence, different delivery. Your voice is not communication, it is command. Tone decides credibility. Pace decides authority. Silence decides dominance. Words are secondary. Fast voices signal fear. Speed exposes urgency. Urgency exposes need. Need collapses authority. Confident voices are slower, not lazy, not dragged, measured. Each word feels chosen. Why you should sound slightly uninterested. Overinvestment leaks insecurity. When your voice sounds neutral, almost indifferent, people lean in, because attention is drawn to what does not seek it. If two people present ideas, one rushes, explains everything, fills every silence. The other speaks slowly, pauses mid-sentence, ends early. Which idea is remembered? Not the detailed one, the restrained one, because restraint implies certainty. Pauses increase perceived intelligence. Silence after a sentence forces processing. Processing creates weight. Weight creates respect. Never rush to the next sentence. Let silence do the work. Talking less makes people project more. When you explain everything, there is no mystery. When you speak minimally, people fill the gaps with assumptions, and humans assume strength when information is missing. A disagreement appears. One person over-explains intentions, defends tone, clarifies emotions. The other responds with one sentence, then silence. Who seems grounded? Not the explainer, the one who does not need justification. Explanation is submission. Power does not over-clarify. It states, then stops. If clarification is needed, it will be requested. The myth and the truth. Depth alone is not confidence. Forced depth sounds fake. Real authority comes from relaxed resonance. Tension raises pitch. Relaxation lowers it naturally. Confidence is a calm nervous system. Shallow breath creates urgency. Deep breath creates steadiness. Before speaking, pause, exhale slowly, then speak. Your voice will carry weight without effort. Arguments escalate through tone, raised pitch, fast words, emotional flooding. One partner slows down, speaks less, lowers volume, pauses. The emotional temperature drops because calm is contagious. The quietest voice is often the most powerful. People lower their voices around authority, not consciously, instinctively, because calm signals control. Loud voices compete. Confident voices invite. You don't need volume when people are already listening. Speak just loud enough to be heard, no more. Whispering commands more attention than shouting. People strain to hear what matters. They ignore what demands. Family triggers old patterns, raised voices, talking over each other. One person refuses to match volume. They speak softly, slowly, once. The dynamic shifts because dominance does not mirror chaos, it dissolves it. Minimalism is power. Confident people avoid filler. No ums, no maybes, no I think. They speak in clean statements, not aggressive, not apologetic, but clear. Fewer words signal higher status. High-status individuals are assumed to be busy. Busy people do not ramble, they conclude. Being interesting is not power. Being centered is. You don't need stories, you don't need jokes, you don't need performance. Presence beats entertainment. Confidence is energetic economy. Every word costs energy. Confident people conserve it. They speak only when it matters, and when they do, rooms adjust. At work, they listen when you speak. In friendships, they respect your boundaries. In relationships, your calm sets the tone. In family, you are no longer pulled into chaos. In society, people move differently around you, not because you demanded it, but because your presence trained them. Strength does not shout, it settles. If you understood this, you don't need motivation, you need discipline. Practice silence, practice pauses, practice fewer words. Because the most confident person in any room is not the one being heard the most, it is the one no one interrupts.